Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. We present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8. And because our students are watching from all over the planet, many have come here and then gone back to their homeland. We record it on our website so they can see it in their time zone. I'm Lama Tashi. The Tibetan Buddhist tradition is unique in Buddhism. It is a result of Shakyamuni Buddha giving the teachings of 94,000 different Dharma practices, and then the teachings on mind training and the teachings on voidness, which were preserved through the culture of Tibet, starting in about the 6th or 7th century. And then became more prolific after the 10th century when many Mahasiddhis brought the teachings to many areas of Tibet and Mongolia. But now this tradition, which was actually perfected in Tibet, is global. And so that's what we are producing with these classes. The Tibetan idea of Buddha is simply a human being, man or woman, who takes birth in the human condition on a planet solely to increase the wisdom and lessen the suffering of the beings on that planet. And then at the same time, interacting with the cultures of whatever group they're dealing with, they also integrate it into the natural resources and setting of that area. So the tradition is about discipline, but it's not a religion. There's no intention in it whatsoever to go to heaven or heavenly realms. And to correct that idea that it's a religion is to say it's just a healing program for the body, speech, and mind of us humans. Now I'm going to read from Lama Rinpoche's text, The Story of All of Us Simply Said, which is available for about $8 a copy on Amazon, or you can get it through our Dharma Center or Lama Rinpoche Center in Honolulu. To put this in a little more perspective, what we have is the relative world that we have grown up in and have become accustomed to. We believe that everything around us is real, solid, fixed, and permanent. But then we hear the Buddhist teachings about it all being an illusion. How do we explain ideas that are so different from our experience? All thoughts arise out of an empty nature of the mind. They're pushed up and out by a collection of habitual tendencies that we have brought with us like a shadow from one life to another. These thoughts have gained so much strength and power in our mind that it's all that we know and are aware of. We think these thoughts are who we are, a permanent self. But these thoughts are not our own true nature. These thoughts are something temporarily obscuring our own true nature. And from the ultimate view, they are an illusion, as is the whole outer world and your body. Those practitioners who have experienced the ultimate level through practice of realization tell us that these experiences they have with our senses is similar to that which we have with a mirror. If we look in a mirror and think what we see has a substantial nature, it should mean that we should be able to reach out with our fingers and grasp the image in the mirror. And as a simile, a thought like that is an illusion. But we know that the image of our face in the mirror is simply a reflection, is to not have a physical reality that is different from the reflection. So the mirror is used as an analogy to explain the difference between the relative and ultimate views and the ultimate two states of awareness that we, or truths that we possess in our consciousness. If we think what we see with our eyes or touch with our hands as substantial reality, from the ultimate viewpoint, that thought is an illusion. This is the essence of the meaning of illusion in Buddhism. There are many ways of explaining this illusory, insubstantial situation that we are caught up in. And these classes that we are showing tonight are actually a culmination of over 50 years of exposure to the Dharma here in Hawaii, to many teachers, some from Tibet, some from Nepal, Bhutan, Sikkim, Ladakh, Kashmir, and other countries. But all of them were invited to come to Hawaii to give us the wisdom practices of the Dharma. But not only that, the blessings and how to perform them and accomplish them using our cultural standards, using our situation just as we are. And it has progressed to the point where the Dharma is available with Dharma centers, retreats, stupas, on 4 of the 6 major islands in Hawaii. This island, Oahu, which is Honolulu, they call that the Gathering Island. Maui, which is called the Dakini Island. And Hawaii, which is the Big Island, the Volcano Island. But now, we have come to a situation where the Dharma is more valuable to the people of Hawaii than any other form of healing. Because on the systematic level of healing that is in place today, it doesn't accomplish its intention. In fact, in some cases, it makes it worse. And why is the Dharma more practical? Is because it treats the cause of ill health and disease, pain and suffering. And all of us are experiencing that. So what to do? Well, in 1977, I was exposed to a teacher, my root Lama Kala Rinpoche. And he didn't give this explanation like you're receiving tonight. He simply said, if you want to correct your painful situation, you must practice the Dharma. You must connect to your true nature, which is intuitive, which is wisdom. And after he gave that explanation, then he started to demonstrate the Dharma. And he did it very simply. Of course, he had a translator with him, a very smart woman from Berkeley, California, who could speak Tibetan and had translated all the texts that he needed to teach. He simply said, you start with refuge in your own true nature, because it exists in you, it's innate. As a discipline and correction to the drama nature. And then he did it physically. We were in an old building, like a barn, with not very clean, but he took off his Zen and laid it on the floor and started doing prostrations to us, towards us. And then, after 3 or 4 or 5 prostrations, he stood up, shook the dust out of his Zen and put it back on around his shoulders and sat down. And he said, now it's your turn. And the translator explained, now he wants you to do the prostrations that he just did towards him. So there was about 60 of us, and we attempted to do that. But what I was impressed with was he was so cool about it. And he was over 70 years old. I mean, he did it like it was the only way to go. And I got this feeling, and most of us did, of complete peacefulness. And we did what we could, and then sat down, and he said, now you take refuge in your own true nature by the thought that everything you are doing from this point on is for everybody else, not just you. He says, there's no such thing as separation. Everything is interconnected to everything else. And in this reality, it's all shared by infinite sentient beings, animals, humans, and spirits. And he said, all of these sentient beings have the same problems and difficulties. But this thought of including them as the purpose of the practice is the Dharma. Just this one thought. And it will quickly move you away from pain and suffering in the drama world. Just one thought. Wow. That makes it simple. I'm going to read you that thought. In order to attain enlightenment and realization of our true nature, for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now all together take refuge and, when possible, offer prostrations. And I might explain that prostrations, it's laying down and standing up. There's 2 methods. There's the actual method of doing it physically, and there's the imaginary method of doing it in your mind. But either way, when you do this act of prostration, he instructed us to think that every single being in the universe are doing them with us. He said, keep that thought in mind. And you'll have no difficulty with all of the limitless wisdom practices that will be presented from now for your benefit and in the future. And then he chanted it in Tibetan. I'll do that because the spirits become befriended when they hear this. You already have a lot of nice spirits around you and in you, so now you let them know that you're their spiritual friend. Dag dong jowa namke ta dong yangpe sem chem tam che du di ne jute chi si jang chu ning po la chi ki bardu. Then he went on to demonstrate the refuges that support us in accomplishing that thought. And also strengthen us in our motivation to become mature, more intelligent human beings. And these 6 refuges are in place. Actually, and in your mind. We go for refuge to all the glorious holy lamas of all the lineages of Tibetan Buddhism. We go for refuge to all the yidams who are the deities gathered in our mandala practices. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have reached maturity and conquered their minds and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. And we go for refuge to all the noble Sangha who teach and practice. And we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these 6 possess the eye of transcending awareness. And I'll chant that in Sanskrit. Palden lama dampa namla chapsu chio yedam chokorgi laso namla chapsu chio Sanjay Chodende Namla Chapsu Chio Dampe Chur Namla Chapsu Chio Alpe Gandu Namla Chapsu Chio Pawo Gandro Chokyo Sume Sho Yesheki Shindong Dimpa Namla Chapsu Chio. The Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha are called the 3 jewels. The lamas, deities, and protectors are the 3 roots of the Sutra, Tantra traditions. And all of these, this aspect of illusoriness or voidness is not only actualized by them, but instilled as methods to gain the same realization as they have in you. So we have this altruistic motivation, and the Dharma established like a web, like the net all over the globe. and you enter into what is called Bodhisattva Training School. They use the term bodhicitta. Citta means realization of mind. Bodhi means realize, actualize. And the word Sanjay in this chant that I just did, Sanjay Chom Den De Nam La Chap Sucho. Sanjay is two words. Together they mean cleared completely. And it's the term for all the lamas and all the Buddhas. But these two words cover everything. San covers everything you think and the whole world of sentient being. Cleared of emotionality, cleared of judges, cleared of this habitual reaction to those two. And J means ultimate understanding that every sentient being is already this. They're already what we call Buddha. They already have this mature capacity in their situation, in their consciousness. And all they need to do is activate it. So then the 6 bodhisattva practices activate it. And they're what your mother taught you, except the 6th one. In the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment, till reaching maturity, Buddhahood. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 bodhisattva disciplines, called the 6 perfections, accomplish the maturity of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. And you engender this thought simply by bringing your hands together and thinking everybody in the universe is not only your purpose, but your accomplices. And that this is an illusion and you must liberate yourself from it. So generosity is the first bodhisattva discipline, and it is practiced on the wisdom level and the relative level. So every day is Christmas, but at the same time, everything's your wisdom nature, because here you've taken refuge and you've moved into bodhisattva training. And what is a bodhisattva? That's somebody that's going to quickly become mature in the human condition. Morality, ethics, and good manners is the second discipline altogether. But again, as I said, it is practiced on the ultimate level, which we should already be doing, but also on the wisdom level. Patience is number 3, with ourselves, with others, with the environment. Diligence and perseverance is number 4. This is an ongoing practice, systematically installed in your situation by you till it reaches a 24/7 resonation. Number 5 is meditative focus, single-pointed concentration on one thing. But in our practice, that one thing is your mind. And so we use the mind's imaginary power to increase not only the tranquility state of meditation, but the insight into the nature of the mind and the world around us, including our body and everything. It's called the essence. So sunyata is the peace and tranquility. Most traditions of meditation don't get past that, but they use that for all kinds of accomplishing worldly things, martial arts and healing and so forth. But this mental faculty of the imagination produces or actualizes what's appropriate in this tradition. We use the word appropriate and beneficial, but beneficial for one might not be beneficial for another. One method for one might not be the method for another. So think appropriate. And then these five together practice put you into the insight of your illusory nature, which, as I explained before, is like a reflection in a mirror, like a mirage in the desert, like the reflection of the moon in water. Yes, it is there, but it's not there. And more you start to understand that is true. Then you just simply, with the tranquility part of it, relax, and then you just move away. From the Dharma world. And then I'll have to say, like us here, in our cave on Comey Street, you find yourself have it being actualized so that it's your 24/7 way of being, incorporated into your lifestyle. For us, our cave is our home. For others, it's the Dharma Center. For others, it's being in seclusion in nature or somewhere, yogis and yogini. But however it takes place, everything's okay. And that's not the situation in the world today. So we have to share this okayness. Sanjay Chodam Choki Chodnama Jangchu Bardu Dagni Chapsuchi Dagi Jinso Jipe Sonamki Drola Penjur Sanjay Juparsho. In the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit, gain by practicing these 6 methods, accomplish this enlightenment, Buddhahood, maturity, for the benefit of all sentient beings, all the animals, all the humans, all the spirits, in the entire universe. And I'd like to add right now, today. So now we practice meditation. Generosity, morality, ethics, good manners, and patience get us ready for meditational accomplishment, using the imagination as a tool so that wisdom and knowledge arise together. Knowledge is understanding what you're doing and how to use it. So to meditate, we start formally by sitting, or some people can't sit, so laying down. With the back straight, head slightly tilted, hands in a comfortable position, either on the lap or in the knee. Eyes maybe half closed. A soft focus to the space and light energy directly in front. Why do we put the eyes here? It's because that's healthy. That energy goes through the eyes and does things with the brain that causes nice stuff to happen in your body. But also, it's a symbol for voidness. You can't say nothing is there. You can say nothing you can see is there. But there's energy there, there's atoms there, there's air there, and so forth. So eyes half open, gaze you. Mouth closed if you can. Natural breathing through the nose, if possible. And we start by using that which keeps us alive, the air, the breath. To not only increase energy in our situation, in our physical, mental, spiritual situation, but also to generate a powerful process that benefits others around us. So for a few moments, just breathe. Inhale, diaphragm expand. Exhale, diaphragm collapses. This is a powerful tool. Is focusing or meditating on the breath. And we take it a step further as an energy program by using the imagination in tune with the breath. To do that, as you inhale, imagine the air, which contains all the elements, earth, water, fire, air, space, as filling your lungs with white light. The middle breath, which is the absorption breath, which is spontaneous, takes that energy and passes it through every cell in your body. Then these two breaths together are exhaled out the nose to space. And so there's a color code goes with this 3 breath process. The inhale is visualized as white light filling your lungs. The absorption breath is red light flashing through your whole body. And these two collected together is blue light exhaled out your nose, which is a powerful healing breath to everything and everyone around you. To space. In space, everything is connected. Again, inhale white light through your lungs. The absorption breath visualizes red light through your body. Collect these two lights or two codes together. Exhale blue light out your nose. Then again, reinvent the bindu, the tigli, the point, refuge point in the center of your heart chakra.
The sound wasn't on. For the last few minutes.
And from that point of light in the center of your heart chakra, imagine it to grow in size to create a small sphere of clear light. And you're entering from the all ground of spatial awareness into this three-dimensional world. And its nature is clear light. Then that small sphere we're going to use as the energy healing program for the 5 elements healing by expanding in its size to create one of the 5 symbols that your mother created you with. Earth, water, fire, air, and space. We're going to start with the space element, visualized as a white sphere about the size of your thumbnail, or it could be larger, a larger size. And imagine this sphere to move out in front of your body and up before your eye. Then imagine that inside that white sphere, the symbol of the air element, which is green in color, with like a bowl with a lid, is taking place inside the space sphere. So now you're focusing on the white sphere and inside the green half sphere of the air. Then visualize inside the green half sphere the symbol of the fire element, which is a 4-sided pyramid with a base. Now you have the white sphere, the green sphere inside of it, and the red fire sphere inside the green sphere. Now imagine inside the fire sphere, the fire pyramid, a smaller blue sphere of water. So now you have the space element with the air element inside it, and then the red pyramid inside it, and now the blue water sphere inside the red pyramid. Then visualize the 6-sided yellow cube labeled Earth to be inside the water element. Now you have all 5 elements, one inside the other. And a side note to this is how your mother created your body. And it's exactly how the entire universe, everything, is composed of these 5 elements. So the mother principle is the principle of the universe. First of all, in its entirety, like space. And second of all, in the life-supporting element of air, which incorporates the light energy as heat, or then takes place in a physical situation, either like the human body or a body of water or whatever. It has many different forms: ice, gas, clouds. And then your earth. Now the earth element is the supporter of life as we know it, but it's the only place that humans and animals can exist. And contrary to common knowledge, there's an uncountable number of these Earths existing in our galaxy. And of course, throughout the universe, there's an uncountable number of galaxies. But now that you have this vision that you created with your imagination and focus, reverse the process to show what happens when you leave the body. When you leave this planet. And so the earth element disappears into the yellow earth element disappears into the blue water sphere. Then the water sphere is absorbed into the fire pyramid. Disappeared. And the radiation energy of the fire pyramid disappears into the air element. Then the air element, together with the consciousness, disappears into space. Relax. No meditation. Simply be present and contemplate the reality of spatial awareness. It has lots of room, is cozy, open, clear, naked, bright. And you are experiencing it by being present. And simply being aware of this state of presence is beyond the capacity of the mind. No judgment. No thinking. Therefore, no reaction. Relax. Then return your awareness to the sphere of white light in front of your eyes, where you just performed this meditation practice. Bring it to chest level and into your heart center. Shrink it to a particle that it becomes a connection to what they call the all ground of basic space, the way the universe already is. And again, relax in the present moment. This is symbolic of the mother receiving the child, or the child climbing onto the lap of the mother, all kinds of ways. But that unconditional relationship is symbolic of the space that you reached with your imagination and the space that already exists as our world, universe, has the same thing. Now, since you're so open and clear, naked, bright, and present, I'm going to read to you, recognize the experience of this as described by Gangchar, Khenpo Gangchar Rinpoche in his book, Vivid Awareness. If you can rest like this in the mind's essence, in this clear and expansive, vivid and naked state of awareness, without concerns about thoughts or recollections, without existing with joy or pain. This is the natural awareness of the Bodhisattva. It is called Rigpa in Tibetan. And when you associate this as the mother principle of the universe, it is called Rigma. In this state of present, at this point, there is no concern about what you are thinking, or what you remember, or what is nice, or what is painful. You will not need to think, this is it, or question it, what is it? You will not need to think at all, for this is empty. But you don't have to think this is empty or it's not empty. Thinking is drama. You don't have to think it's nice or that it's not nice or that it's good or bad, because there won't be any thought of pleasure or displeasure in any way at all in this moment. This is just the natural essence of what once was called your mind. It's not something that makes us jubilant or happy, nor is it something that obsesses us or makes us unhappy. It just is. Having read that, relax. Now to end your practice, bring this newfound state of intelligent awareness to in front of your eyes. And keep it going by expanding it into your area of practice. And of course, since we're bodhisattvas, on this path of healing, dedicate the results of this to all sentient beings, your mothers. Now, what have we just performed? A simple healing practice using the breath and the 5 element symbols. Not only to accomplish healing in the body, and outside of it, an energy field that lessens the pain and suffering of others. But you've actually still instilled in place with the guidance of these 2 Rinpoches, Gangchar, Kempo Gangchar Rinpoche, and Kenshin Trangu Rinpoche, the essence of your natural mind, which is the mind without thinking, without judgment, is called non-judgmental mind. And the habitual reaction program dissipated. And you keep this in mind when you're not doing this practice. Also, it's good to keep in mind that with this practice, you are removing the harmful effects of karma in your future. With all the other practices that we do, we've been removing the harmful effects of karma from our past. And it's very nice to know that the future and the past don't exist. So everything is part of this path of practice. If you have sickness, well, you're treating not only the symptoms, but the cause. If it's sleep, well, awareness is more useful than sleep. Well, I have to say as useful. If it's any form of pain or suffering or discomfort, or negative involvement with others in relationships, or harm coming from the environment itself, take it to the path. This is the path. Bring it all into this practice, all of it. Bit by bit. No hurry. As it arises. And disappear it. It's an illusion. Thousands of men and women for the last 2,600 years have been freeing themselves of this illusion and passing the information on to others. But now in the present day, with things so dramatically disruptive, the practice of the Kusulu which is described as an ordinary person that's not too concerned. But at the same time, a bodhisattva. Can attain liberation, can wake up from the drama dream, remove delusion, ignorance, stupidity, bewilderment, abandon states of aggrandizement, high self-esteem, low self-esteem, not knowing what to do, all of that. Unnecessary conflict. And then the five dhyana Buddhas come to your situation. You know, yes, you can do the mantras of the five dhyana Buddhas. You can do their seed syllable. I've got the home right here, the ultimate healing symbol. The vibration of symptomatic and causal healing. And then awareness is a higher state of intelligence, not smartness, not higher IQ. We're not talking about that. We're talking about intelligence and a way of being without a ceiling, infinite capacity. You have infinite sentient being. You have an infinite world around you. We have infinite pain and suffering. We deal with it on an infinite level. And that's a nice word because then you're omniscient. Your mind becomes the Dharmakaya. Your awareness becomes the Sambhogakaya. And your birth in the human condition become the Nirmanakaya. These three are inseparable. At the same time, you can still do the Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana practices and methods to deal with the karma from your who knows how many past lives. And before we go on to doing the Medicine Buddha practice tonight, which deals with not only the calamities of the world today, but the 8 major forms of suffering in the human condition. When you see the mind's essence, it will be clear and expansive. We use the word open for expansive. Vivid means bright. Naked means nothing to add, nothing to take away. And the state of presence is the action mode. And you can produce it anytime, any place, because every moment is the present. When we talk about this being clear or luminous, sometimes we understand that meaning as some sort of light and blazing bright effects. But that is not what this means. It means that we know and understand, and this knowledge and understanding does not stop. We do not turn into some kind of sort of rock. That is not what is happening. There is the clarity, this knowing aspect of the mind, without distraction. It's also expansive because it is the Dharmakaya. It is the nature of being able to think of anything, omniscient, know everything, omnipotent, which simply means powerful, omnipresent, the Dharmakaya. So we've taken these natures of the mind and produced a reality that already existed. Because it is also expansive, which means that this clarity is vast, like space, we can see and know many things. And our consciousness evolves into higher and higher states of intelligence, how to use these things. Vivid means that it is all as if we are actually seeing. It is right there, and we are really seeing it. We're really experiencing it. We're really aware of it. And there's no doubt whether or not this is just right there. It is naked, and we are not thinking about what we forget or what we remember or what to do. We're seeing it from far away and close up at the same time because it's right here all the time. And there is no such thing as time. So it is timeless awareness. There's no veil or anything covering it all. This is what we rest in. The simplicity of the nature of the mind as the reality of the world around us. And in that way, everything is the practice. Kala Rinpoche, my Ru Mama, often said, that through these practices, when you know you are nothing, in that moment you are everything. And you can relax. In void. And this is the word Sanjay. Cleared completely. Before we do the practice of the medicine Buddha, start the practice. We have 8 auspicious symbols in Tibetan. My name, Tashi, means auspicious. This is a Dharma Wheel, one of the 8 auspicious symbols. And the Dharma Wheel has a hub and 8 spokes and a rim. And in this contains all of the harmful energies we have to deal with. 5 of these exist in our own mind. As incorporated as a human in a body. Not to say that the spirits and the animals don't have their problems, but let's keep it in the human condition. Why? Because only humans can become bodhisattvas and become realized Buddhas. It's not possible for heavenly beings to do this. And these 8 auspicious symbols are the first 5 spokes are the 5 dhyana Buddhas as remedies for the 5 states of conflicting emotion, of which there are 84,000 active in the human condition. Conflict that cause disease, pain, and suffering, personally and collectively. And once you understand these 5 energy fields, which we show intellectually by definition as not separate from the 5 elements. So you're not going anywhere with these, you're just going to use those to treat the beings of the 5 elements, which is everyone. Same color codes, So we have the knowledge. But then we have 3 more spokes. And there are very dark human beings that tend to take the same kind of methods that we use and produce harmful effects for other human beings. And so this 6th spoke is those kind of dark beings, humans, that doing this is called sorcery. And it covers, it's everywhere. It's going on all over the planet, all the culture. And so this is to counteract the results of this kind of dark energy and our karma with those kind of beings. The 7th wheel is about religion. Now we have religions off the charts. I mean, if you take one religion like Christianity, there's 2,600 different kinds. Hinduism, uncountable. And all the other traditions. But in those religions, there's a lot of power because you're dealing with, again, the energy of the spirit world. As demigods or goddesses or celestial beings. And some of the practitioners of these religions have the completely opposite purpose of the religion in mind as they practice it. They think it's okay to go to war and kill human beings. They think it's okay to destroy the environment. They think it's okay to harm children and practice misogyny against women. They think that's okay, and they're doing this religious practice with the idea that they're just perfect, like gods and goddesses. And this arrogance, we need to, medicine Buddha, help to counteract. And then we come to the final spoke, which is the spirit world itself, which controls the weather, which controls disease, which controls the elemental energies, directing that harmfully towards us humans, for whatever reason, mostly because we're destroying the environment and the planet. But these 8 causes come under the protection of the medicine Buddha, which was Shakyamuni Buddha. He gave 84,000 different methods to protect humans from pain and suffering. And that is the lotus of the medicine Buddha taking birth in the human condition. It's for us. And this Om Ahung that we did with the breath, the Hung is the medicine Buddhist. Compassion, power, and insight to help deal with the karma of whatever we did in past lives. Now we experience this life. Sit with your back straight. Head slightly tilted, hands in a comfortable position, eyes slightly open, stare at the space in front, mouth closed. Visualize your Lama, root Lama. as being the representative of all the lamas of all the lineages of Tibetan Buddhism. You can use the one in front as the rep, Lama Tashi Dundra, or any Lama, man or woman. And from the Lama's forehead, from the sound Om, white light comes into your forehead for you to be, in practice, the medicine Buddha. Then you visualize red light from the sound Ah comes from the Lama's throat, so that you exercise with your speech the energy, the vibration of that, with mantra and prayer and other oral transmission practice. Then you visualize blue light coming from the Lama's throat from the sound Hum. And the vibration of the Hum calls all the symptomatic and causal healing methods available to deal with whatever harmful situation comes up, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Then when you can see these three lights of this empowerment blazing into your three places, into your head, throat, and heart chakra, the fourth empowerment of union of the Lama's body, speech, and mind becomes your body, speech, and mind. It's visualized by the Lama in front, melting into you like water into water. Then the three lights in the essential channel of your life force become the three Buddha fields with the Om, Ah, and Hum of three of the five Dhyana Buddhas. Unity, action, and the wisdom of voiceness. Then you see the Om in the forehead come down the central channel into the Ah, red Ah. These two spheres of energy together move down into your heart chakra and blend with the Hum. The Hum is the all-pervasive healing energy of the medicine Buddha. However, it is presented with your body, speech, and mind. Being the medicine Buddha, chant 10 Hums. The first three are for your body, speech, and mind receiving this empowerment. The next four are for the body, speech, and mind developing the qualities necessary to actualize whatever is appropriate. And the last three are to move into the Dharmakaya energy field, complete with the Sambhoga and Kaya and Nirmanakaya in place. Inhale. Om, om, om. Om, 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 om. Om, om, om. Now you as the medicine Buddha know that your energy field pervades all of the spirit world, 4 divisions of spirit, and all the planets where animals and humans take birth, where the humans can be trained, disciplined, learn to discipline their minds and so forth. Then that all-pervasive energy of the medicine Buddha, with the sound hung in your heart center, is the mandala of the medicine Buddha. No boundary. This causes the mantra to appear, Tadyatha, collect all that wisdom energy. Om, the energy of the universe. Bikanzi, Bikanzi, Maha Bikanzi, penetrating your body, speech, and mind. And with that in place, Razda, Samun, Gate, Soha. Samun Gate means beyond thought, beyond judgment. No need for any form of reaction. In place, Soha. Always increasing, everywhere penetrating. No one left out. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Raja Samangate Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samangate Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samangate Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. In India they say Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rasa Samagati Soha. So you visualize yourself blue in color, wearing the golden robes of the Lama Rinpoche, blazing with 5-colored light, with the stainless mirror like the sun as your backrest, and your head in the wisdom sphere of the Aksabhaya Buddha field, sitting on an 8-petal lotus with 8 Buddhas on a Buddha on each petal with a crossed dorjes in front, the 5 Dhyana Buddhas, on a lion throne, symbolizing power. Altruistic compassion with unconditional loving kindness is the mode of being. And insight into the nature of everything is illusory as awareness. The ultimate state of your natural mind. Tadyadom viganzi ma viganzi rasa samagate soha. 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 The mantra is visualized starting with the Om in front. And when I say in front, Om is the seed syllable of the creation of this as being omnipresent, omnipotent, and using your mind as the Dharmakaya, omniscient. The mantra Om in front of the Om, clockwise with the letters facing out. Tadyata. 3 letters. Tadyata. Om. Vikanzi. Vikanzi. Maha Vikanzi. Sa. Moon. Gate. Soha. Tadyata Om Vikanzi Maha Vikanzi Rasa Samagate Soha. Tadyata Om Vikanzi Maha Vikanzi Rasa Samagate Soha. Tadyata Om Vikanzi Maha Vikanzi Rasa Samagate Soha. Tadyadom vikanzi ma 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 vikanzi rasa samagate soha. Tadyata Om vikanzi ma vikanzi rasa samagate soha. Tajata Om Vikanji 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 Rajasamagati Soha Tajata Om Vikanji 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 Rajasamagati Soha Tajata Om Vikanji 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 Rajasamagati Soha Rajadam Veganzi Veganzi Ma Veganzi Rajasamgati 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 Soha. So the sound of the vibration of the home is the creation of the ultimate healing, both causal and symptomatic, on all levels of existence, animal, human, and spirit. And in the human condition, all the 8 causes remedy. If it's the conflicting emotions, the remedy of the emotions is ultimately loving kindness. Unconditional compassion means interested in the well-being of every sentient being, none left out. This activates the remedy. Then the mantra and the power of the home blaze light through your nadis, 84,000 nadis. And then out of your imaginary, illusory body of the medicine Buddha to every living being everywhere, all the time. This timeless awareness healing program The past is gone, so it's not present. The future hasn't happened yet, so it's not present. What is present? The powerful moment of awareness, ultimate natural essence of the mind itself. And everything that's harmful, conflicting, or unhealthy becomes the path. It sucked into it like a vacuum, disappears. You yourself, as a bodhisattva, disappear. No I, me, mine. Perceiver and perceived, gone. Activity, not necessary. That's the drama stuff. Just be in the moment as a light being, energizing the universe and all the beings in it. No hesitation, with appropriate results. Tadyadom Viganzi Ma Viganzi Rasa Samagati Soha 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 Tadyadom Viganzi Ma Viganzi Rasa Samagati Soha. With the practice of the mantra, seat salvo, and the mandala of the medicine Buddha, you are in the present. You have attained a state of presence. Now use this state of presence by disappearing all sentient beings, your mothers, into you as the medicine Buddha from every direction. Collect your children. Then disappear your illusory body into the mantra of the medicine Buddha in your heart center. And you visualize that in a 5-color sphere of light. Small, about the size of your thumbnail. The outside world is like a blazing sun. The inside world is like a candle. Can disappear the mantra syllable by syllable into the whom. It represents the Dharmakaya. The all-pervasive wisdom of the Dharma practice, timeless in its application and boundless in its effect. Then the hung in a five-colored sphere of light expands into boundless space. And this boundless space becomes a symbol of intelligent awareness. No center, no circumference, relax in the present moment. In the mind's essence of voidness, bliss. Natural. Come on. There are three types of intelligence that result from practice of the Dharma. The intelligence born of listening and contemplating is directed outward. It is dependent upon inference, so it is a conceptual understanding or meaning being generated. The clarity of the mind is the second intelligence, that it is right, and that's what it is. The intelligence born of meditation is the ultimate intelligence. because through the mind's own abilities, it dissipates itself and is actually seeing and experiencing what the nature of mind or intelligence really is and its usefulness. Now we dedicate the virtue of this practice, and Kala Rinpoche wrote this dedication prayer, so I'll read it as a dedication for what we have performed tonight. By practicing in this way, and by the power of these virtuous actions, and by the love and kindness of my parents to me and the teachings of bodhicitta by my lamas, and my commitment to all my Vajra sisters and brothers, and the connection between myself and all men and women, possessions, even those of beasts of burden from which I take milk and yogurt to drink, and the animals whose flesh and blood I eat. To all of these, without leaving one behind, may they quickly attain and reach the sublime and perfect state of human maturity in one lifetime, in this lifetime. Kewa di nirdu da, chagya champa drugya ne, trowa chinking malupa, dei sala goparsho, Sanjay kusum nimpai jimla dam, shoni megar dimpai jimla dam, yendu miche dumpai jimla ki, chitar goma monlam dru par sho. By this virtue of having realized Mahamudra, may I quickly establish all beings without exception in that state. By the blessings of the three bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessings of the truth of this Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of the Sangha, that's us, being unwavering, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness established in bliss through our practice in a state of equanimity. May all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. And from all of us here in Hawaii, aloha and tashi dele.